Okay, so I'm live. I'll be back up. I gotta find a different goddamn thumbnail to use here. What's a decent thumbnail that I could just throw up? That's not gonna old school shit here. I don't have anything. Crap balls. Okay, so as you can see now, it's working a lot better, and that has everything to do with the fact that it's you know, it's yeah, it's okay. So the YouTube in-app thing won't work with my Canon. The Canon overloads it, whereas OBS processes it just fine. So that's fine with me. I just want to double check the audio here because sometimes it likes to screw around. Windows 10 and saving your audio levels are really, really, really low. See, even that's like that's I don't know. You guys got to tell me if that sounds okay or not. Okay, yeah, it's much better. Epic Joe and Rachel, I appreciate that. Hopefully, other people come on in. Let me just find a what's going on. What's the big news today? RoboCop. We'll just find a RoboCop wallpaper. RoboCop. Slap that up there so people know what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. Oh, hey, I didn't realize this, but you can actually sit there and create highlights for this. So why Paul's ego should not Paul's ego, Jesus. Okay. So okay, good. We're back up. We're fine. Are they releasing? Yeah, no, I don't know what they're doing. That's an old thumbnail. I couldn't think of a new thumbnail. I just changed the thumbnail. So yeah, the Star Wars Detours thing, they recently renewed the trademark for that. And as a result, I think a lot of people are curious to see what's going to happen next with it. Like we don't know if they're going to do anything with it. There's like 60 episodes that have been produced. Or no, there's been 32 episodes produced, and the script for 60 more episodes have been written. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is when Disney releases the streaming service next year, Star Wars Detours is going to be one of their flagship shows because it's going to end up being a thing with them where they want to go, oh, we have Star Wars content, exclusive Star Wars content that they already own, that's already done, and it's just going to be put out there. That or they're going to drop it to Hulu if they get the controlling stake in Fox. And interestingly enough, it does feel that a lot of what Hulu's up to, or a lot of this Fox deal does revolve around Hulu. Any more Kathleen Kennedy news? No, there hasn't been. There hasn't been. I mean, there's some Colin Trevorrow stuff, which we could talk about the Colin Trevorrow stuff that I saw Geeks and Gamers cover, and I looked into it myself, and I was going to do a standalone video. The thing is, I want to do more of these live streams. They're more fun. My daughter's laying down for a little bit right now, so I've got about maybe 45 minutes to an hour before she wakes up, so we can talk about literally whatever. Let's see. Comcast must win Disney. Adam, how can no. I've seen your videos, dude. I've seen your videos on that, and you're wrong. You are wrong. Comcast is the worst possible company ever. Okay, not ever, but like they're really, really, really bad. And Universal is not going to handle it with the right amount. Universal can only run 2 franchises. Well, 3 if you count Despicable Me. But even then, no. Universal has got Fast and Furious, which has relied on sheer, I don't know, luck for the most part. The movies are good, don't get me wrong, but it's been good. You got Jurassic World, which is only 2 movies into that franchise, and that's done very well. And that again is running on nostalgia. Fast and Furious is running on nearly 20 years of being out there as a franchise, and Despicable Me is an animated one. Other than that, their Dark Universe failed to get off the ground, and even Godzilla and King Kong and their monster universe may fail if Godzilla 2 doesn't do well next year when it comes out. So to sit there and say Comcast will protect Deadpool is not an accurate answer. It's purely speculation. Not even good speculation. Bob Iger has already said he will protect Deadpool. They're going to release it under Fox. Keep in mind, Disney owns Miramax. Miramax put out some seriously racy shit back in the day. Disney's not against running that kind of stuff from a brand that can handle it because they're a business. Now, as long as it doesn't crowd over into or cross over into the regular shit, they're going to be fine. So, yeah, I know how the Marvel Netflix isn't really full R. It's never been full R. It outside of not saying the word fuck. You know what I mean? Like they could get away with it and a few things, but no, it pushes the limit, but it doesn't cross over that line. They know what they're doing. Let's see. Begon says you watched the first Fast and Furious and never went. Oh, dude, you were missing out. Okay, here's what you do, man. Here's what you do. Okay, you watch Fast and Furious 1. because it is Point Break, but with cars. Then you watch Too Fast, Too Furious, which again is not necessarily the best thing on the planet, but it's fun in its own right. Then you jump over to Fast and Furious, skipping 3, go right to 4, watch 4, watch 5, then watch Tokyo Drift. Trust me on that one. Then go and watch 6, 7, and 8. Oh no, watch 6. Sorry, 6, then Tokyo Drift, then 7 and 8. And you'll get yourself, by the end of it, you'll walk out going like, damn, those are actually pretty fun movies. They're surprisingly good at what they do. You know, Comcast is pretty evil. What would Comcast do to Fox if they succeed in acquiring it? They would merge it into Universal. And they probably would end up, you know, they would try to use some of the brands, but they would also go down the path of doing their own streaming service, considering that's where things are going. But I don't think they would protect it as much as, you know, like the thing is people want X-Men and Marvel to return home. They want Star Wars to be able to be remastered in 4K because 20th Century Fox has the rights. Now, listen, if Comcast came in and they said, listen, we want to put up a bid to outdo Disney, but then they hit a Bob Iger sideways and they're like, look, dude, we'll sell you back, you know, X-Men and that stuff, whatever you want. You can piecemeal out what you want, but we want this stuff. Bob Iger might do it because Kevin Feige's Marvel Cinematic Universe has pulled in $17 billion in 10 years, right? So it's like there's money to be made there. This whole thing centers around X-Men and yes, Deadpool, which sadly Deadpool 2 released at a terrible time and it won't gross as much money as I predicted it was going to make because of the time frame of when it was released. Summer movies should no longer be crowded into the same months. We don't need like 4 big releases a month. 2. Do 2 or do 1. That's it. Space the rest out over the year, right? Space the rest out over the year. That's how you save the box office. Is Kathleen Kennedy finally fired? No, she's not, rapper. You trust me. If Kathleen Kennedy was fired, everyone would know Kathleen Kennedy was fired. Everyone would know. There'd be a ton of stuff there. So remember this when Morena Barakin is forced to cover her boobs in the next sex scene? Vanessa, as far as I know, is maybe not back for X-Force. And did she show her boobs in Deadpool 2? Did we see any Vanessa's boobies? No. Was there any nudity in Deadpool 2? Even the strip club scene, I don't really think had any nudity in it. So no, there was not nudity in that movie. Well, yeah, there's Fantastic Four, but I think people put a little bit too much emphasis on Fantastic Four. As far as current pop culture goes, Fantastic Four is fucking dead, dude. Fan Four Stick from 3 years ago, I killed it. Disney Marvel went as far as to stop publishing comics for a while. They completely like removed it from the pop culture vocabulary. And yeah, people want it to come back, but it's more out of nostalgia. I don't think it really matters as much. Do I think New Mutants will release under Disney? No, it's going to release next year under Fox, but they dropped it from R-rated to PG-13, which means that the uncut DVD or the uncut home video release is going to have all the R-rated shit. So while I'm going to go see it, I would probably tell most people to hold off until that, because if that's the thing, what you should do is demand the unrated cut and then put your money there, and that would tell Disney that this stuff does well in theaters. So Fantastic Four was rebooted, maybe. But the thing is, they need to, like, no one is really talking about like bringing over Fantastic Four into the MCU, right? All of the articles is really about like X-Men and Deadpool. A Doctor Doom movie would be sweet. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, if they did it right. I don't think most people care about Fantastic Four anymore. It's not that Fantastic Four sucks. It's just that, you know, people I think have moved on to other things. Now, if they were treated like The Incredibles, which effectively it was, the first Incredibles was Fantastic Four meets The Watchmen. Let's be realistic. You know, and that did $1 billion, and this new one's done $1 billion. Then if they treated it like that and they went out from that perspective, very stylistic, set maybe in the 1960s, you know, and so on and so forth, then maybe they could find their niche, because they seem to be going backwards in time now. Captain Marvel set in the 90s, you know, all that stuff. And so I feel like they're going to probably end up going backwards a little bit and playing it up. I could see Fantastic Four being set like in the 1980s as well as Wonder Woman, as a way to kind of combat that. Let's see. Studio triggers sneak peek to their opening cinematic for Indivisible. I don't know what that is, James. I'm sorry. So they are making the Faith a superhero. She's not with Marvel. She's with Valiant Entertainment. Valiant Comics is Faith. So what if Brad Bird directed a Fantastic Four reboot? See, that is something I would be interested in, because I felt Brad Bird did a pretty good job on Mission Impossible. However, Tomorrowland, that one had some problems. Okay, so in the comics, Fantastic Four is back. Okay. I don't really... I don't know. Let's see. A recast of Wolverine would be met through Backlash. Yeah, Wolverine's going to take a couple years, man. I mean, if I had my way, it would be till after Hugh Jackman dies. You know, like that's the stuff. I love the comment here from Kateni. Incredibles 2 wasn't very good, followed by Landon. It says Incredibles 2 is great. This shows you the diverse opinions in regard to movie fans. Wasn't Dark Phoenix canceled? No, Dark Phoenix wasn't canceled. There is some weird stuff happening in terms of its release. So there's that. I don't know yet what's going on with it. I have a feeling at Comic-Con next week, they're going to fill us in. I'm not going to be at Comic-Con this year, so I'll be watching. My girlfriend is like, let's go out of town on that weekend. Let's go do this thing. And I'm all like, no. Friday, Saturday, Comic-Con, Hall H will be what I need to be here for. If I'm not going to be there, if I'm not going to be at Comic-Con for the first time in 18 damn years, then I'm definitely going to go. Because this would have been my 19th time going to Comic-Con if I would have gone this year. Part of me feels a little bit of regret not going, to be honest with you. I just feel kind of bad. Do I think they'll bring back Patrick Stewart as Professor X? No. He has said that he is done with that role after Logan, and it makes sense. That would be his tour de force for the character. That was such an epic portrayal of Professor X. And just the way that it ended was so sad. It was such a brutal and heartbreaking film. I loved it. I don't want him to come back again as Professor X. I really don't. He's played it. But if he's coming back as Captain Picard, that's going to be interesting. So, you know, Incredibles 2 is amazing. Only thing that holds us back is its villain. It's going to be hard to top Syndrome. Syndrome was a good villain. I think we can all agree that Syndrome was a good villain. So, well, it was 14 years in between Incredibles 1 and Incredibles 2, so it does make sense to play it safe. I think if they would have gone two drastically different fans of the original that grew up watching it, that now have kids that are going to go see it, they might be a little bit on the upset side. That's a problem with a lot of these reboots, is they have to sometimes play it safe when it's been so long. Jurassic World played it safe, all things considered, compared to the first Jurassic Park. Jurassic World 2, which I haven't seen yet, so please no spoilers, from my understanding, departs pretty heavily. It goes off in a different direction. Look at The Force Awakens. They played it pretty safe. Then you have The Last Jedi, which, what the fuck? They did not play it safe. They went out to left field. They went too far to the fringe, because you can do that. You can go too far to the fringe. So I'm wondering about that. What about McKellen as Magneto? I'd love to see McKellen as Magneto come back, but I don't think he will. Now, Fassbender does a good job, and I really want to see what's going to happen with Dark Phoenix in regards to all that. Because I really feel like when it comes to, like, I really hope they force Jennifer Lawrence to go back into the costume. Her attitude is one of the things I think that kind of killed Apocalypse. Never mind the bad script. It was a bad script. It was a rushed production. So there's that. Yeah, no, that's what I said, Garrick. I said The Force Awakens played it safe. Absolutely, 100%. They totally played it safe, and as a result of that, it got hurt. It got hurt. Incredibles 2 is definitely one of the better Pixar sequels. Yeah. What's my opinion on Sonic the Hedgehog film? Okay, so the Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be an interesting thing, so to speak. So, in my opinion, I don't care. Like, I don't care because I don't think they're going to be able to do it right. I just don't. Like, I mean, Sonic is a hard property to adapt. You know, because the game's got a story, and then they're going to turn it into a movie. I mean, the Mario movie was 25 years ago, and a lot of people out there already were just like, no, screw that noise. Let's not do that. Let's not do this at all. And as a result of that, it just became this crazy ass thing. But I feel like, you know, if they're gonna do it CG, they're gonna probably end up doing it, you know, more like the animated TV series, where they're gonna tell a story that way. And if the story is good and everything is like, there's a lot of humor, a lot of heart, a lot of action, and probably gonna be a lot of 3D. Let's be fair, they're gonna probably do a lot of 3D. It could be an interesting thing. It could be quite interesting. So we're definitely have to wait and see what's going on with that. Yeah, I never got the Sonic fandom myself. I never got the Sonic fandom at all. At all. I just never ever got it. It kind of weirds me out. I'm kidding. No. I'm a fan of my own stuff. I can't sit there and bash on the Sonic fandom and be like as big of a Star Wars fan as I am. Is it Dr. Eggman or Robotnik? Well, originally it was Dr. Eggman, or was just Eggman was the villain, and then they renamed him, I think, for the American release or the US release, Dr. Robotnik, which I think is a better name overall. And you know, you have your Sonic Puritans that are like, it is Eggman. Like, come on, it's gonna be whatever, man. I haven't seen the first Purge movie yet, so I can't talk about that one. What is, hold on, I'm looking at here some of these advanced features. I want to see something real quick. Bear with me for a few seconds here. Oh, okay. There's a see ad button. I just clicked that real quick. So if some of you guys are seeing an ad, let me know. I won't do it again, but this is a weird thing because I can create highlights now. I can change my thumbnail. I can change the information. I can, you know, I can do a bunch of stuff with it. Cards, super chats, all that stuff. So I don't know if there's an ad playing. You gotta let me know. For some people it might, or people who watch back on the the VOD, if I keep the VOD up. I don't know. I probably won't keep a VOD up for this one. Disney needs to get on board with Peele's animated gargoyles. 100% agree. 100% agree. Rachel, you don't care because you don't have a head block on. That's funny. That's good. I have not watched Lost in Space yet. I need to watch Lost in Space. I actually feel like I need to spend more time on watching and reviewing Netflix products because of the availability of that. So part of my channel content strategy is I talk a lot about superhero stuff and things like that, but then that fits a certain audience. But at the same time, Netflix content, because 100 million people have Netflix, I think talking a lot about Netflix content is probably going to be good for growing out the channel a bit too. So there's that. Why have I not seen Fallen Kingdom yet? Dude, I've got a 7-month-old daughter and I work from home. And I work 7 days a week, so it is very difficult for me to get to the movies these days, partly because I feel guilty going without my girlfriend. I've gotten used to, in the past few months, going and see movies by myself. I've got Movie Pass, and I've only used it a few times. I might actually do it. Tonight, because she's got a job interview today, and then I might take off and go see Jurassic World tonight. She doesn't really want to see Jurassic World, not in theaters. Ever since becoming a mom, she has trouble with like a lot of action heavy stuff. Like we just watched Ready Player One the other night, which that movie is still I think that and Deadpool 2 are my top favorites of the year. But we were watching Black Panther, which she could not get into. So I liked Black Panther quite a bit, but she couldn't get into that at all. Don't binge Westworld season 2. Yeah, I need to watch that. Cesare, what do I think of the Nostalgia Critics scandal? The Nostalgia Critics scandal to me was an interesting one because I'm not like, this is the thing when you're a YouTuber, when you do it full time, people kind of expect you to like know everybody, right? They expect or to be in the know or to watch a lot of certain things. And because I do cover some YouTube drama every once in a while, or I do happen to know a lot of people, and I've met James Rolfe before, and I've met like other bigger YouTubers and stuff. I never watched Channel Awesome. Like when they were becoming a thing, when that part of YouTube was blowing up, I wasn't in YouTube yet. I was living in Los Angeles. I was like, my job. Okay. When I first learned about YouTube, I was in film school. I was in a documentary filmmaking class, and we learned about it from the perspective of going and, like, this is where we would put our work, our short films, our documentaries, our movies or whatever, in order to maybe gain some attention, in order to then, use it as a way to leverage a job. Right. Well, that clearly didn't happen, but that was where my mindset was. So when I moved to LA, everyone I knew was making web series at the time. Everyone's making web series. and no one is doing serialized online content in terms of news coverage or reviews or things like that. So everyone in my social circle, everyone in my sphere was all web series all the time, or all little mini docs all the time. It was always that debate. What is better? Is it YouTube? Is it Vimeo? Like, how do we get celebrities in our web series? You go Craigslist and you look for like entertainment industry work, and it's nothing but web series back then. And also erotica, but that just makes sense because it's Los Angeles. And so there's a lot of that going on. So I never got into it. I knew who he was. I think I'd maybe seen a review or two, but I never got fully into the Channel Awesome situation, their storyline and the people that were involved with that. As a result of that, I never really cared about it. So then when the whole fallout happened, coming at it from an outsider perspective, you can see that there were lots of problems there. The management was terrible. The way they treated people were terrible. And honestly, Doug Walker is stuck, which is why he's still doing Nostalgia Critic. Everything else he's ever done has ultimately failed him. Everything else he's tried to create to get away from being the Nostalgia Critic has ultimately failed him. And that's the sad truth of it. The sad truth is that's where he's at. He's there. And it's sad. Daniel, I haven't gone, man. I haven't gone. I have not been able to get to the theater. I want to. Rick Starr, episode 9 boycott. Nah, I'm not going to boycott it. I'm going to go. Ben Bamboo says, hey, just sorry for any of the ill treatment you get with the swatting and such. Don't understand it because you seem like a pretty cool guy. I have the ability of pissing people off, and I know that. I also get very stubborn in my own right, and there are times where that kind of gets ahead of me. And like, I'll get like kind of worked up over something that I probably shouldn't. And then I act a certain way, and then I get stubborn about it. So again, it's my own fault, my own problem. I'm trying to do better. There's certain things I'm not ready to go back to just yet. And there are people out there that I do need to make amends with. Somebody sent me some stuff today, reminding me of some of the things I had said in my earlier videos about Anita Sarkeesian. And they were not kind, and they were not right. And I do feel a very, very, very large sense of shame and embarrassment for having said those, even though they were 6 years ago and I'm a vastly different person. I was in a place at that point in time where it was just, I was not being my best self. And as a result of that, I ended up, saying a lot of really dumb, stupid things. And, nowadays I'm trying to figure out ways to kind of be better. And I think I want to be better, for my daughter more than anything else. I want to give her a solid, father figure, a role model she can look up to, because my daughter is amazing. And I just love looking at her. I love everything about her. And so I want to be better for her. And, that's, like the whole do it for her thing on The Simpsons. Right. So I think I resonate with that a lot more now, than I did when I first saw it, because now I have something that's a direct influence. So yeah, I'm hoping to be better. I'm hoping to do better. But there's always going to be people out there that no matter what, they want to use every past transgression against you. And they want to use it to strike you down to the best of their ability. And the thing is, you just got to keep soldiering on. So that's what I do. Are there films I do plan on seeing? Yes. I plan on seeing Incredibles and Jurassic World and, Mission Impossible. I mean, like, I go see some of the ones, and stuff that come out, but, I haven't gone and seen the other ones. I'm so far behind on shit. Like, I haven't even seen Rampage yet. Like, I've got Rampage. I've got the digital copy of it. I just haven't watched it yet. Let's see. Does Star Wars need to take a break? No, I don't believe it does. It just needs to be remanaged, right? It just needs to be, it needs an overhaul in the system. It needs a way for, things to be better. So, I think that they need to very much go back and recalibrate how they approach it. And there needs to be two key firings. One is Kathleen Kennedy, because she's lost control of the fandom. And two is Rian Johnson. But Rian Johnson basically is a lackey of Kennedy at this point. So, you got to get rid of him at the same time. You got to carve out all the cancer. You have to carve out all of the cancer. And you do that by getting rid of Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson. I want to see I want to see Hereditary. I just haven't got around to seeing Hereditary yet. So Rampage was an okay film. It looks like a lot of fun. That's what I want to see. I did know, The Gaming Godfather. I saw that, Goosebumps 2 trailer came out. I haven't watched it yet. As weird as it sounds, part of me wants to get away from watching trailers. And I used to love trailers. Man. Like, I'd be watching the Super Bowl only for the trailers. And I would tell my family to shut the fuck up when trailers were coming on because I wanted to see them. Right? Like that's what I sat through those games for. I'm like, oh, I got to sit through your football. You're going to sit through my fucking movie trailer. It's 30 seconds of joy. Give me that. Now I have so much trouble watching them just because they're like, they show you everything. I mean, in Ant-Man and the Wasp, literally one of the post-credit scenes, the last post-credit scene, is in the trailer. It's in the fucking trailer. What is that doing in the trailer? Why is that there? That is ridiculous. That is so stupid. Do I think there will ever be a Gamergate movie? No. What pisses you off about the Channel Awesome is the fact that Doug Walker never admitted anything happened. Yeah, I know, man. I know. And but here's the thing. It makes sense. Like, yeah, they're losing lots of subs, but he probably felt he could weather the storm. If he weathered the storm, he could do it. That's maybe not the right course of action, but to him, that's the right course of action. Was there ever a movie that was interesting to you but got canceled? Yeah. Oh yeah. Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. Yeah. I actually want to, I kind of want to get into some of those like documentary series that people make here on YouTube. Like I want to make a couple of them, where I talk about like a movie that failed, and like go into like whatever reason as to why, and maybe try to find interviews with people or reach out and actually like conduct interviews with people about why certain things fell. And one of the ones that I'm really keen on is Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, which I really love Freddy versus Jason. And I really did. I thought the movie was so much fun. And then when they wanted to pitch it, that bring in Ash from Evil Dead, I thought it was a great idea. And I've actually met the producer on that film, the guy who was working to make it happen. And he did summarize how it fell apart. And for him, it was Bruce Campbell. And his words directly were, Bruce Campbell is a miserable bastard. And that was the word he used at the time. And keep in mind, this is in like 2004, 2005, right? So this is before Evil Dead, you know, the thoughts of there being a remake, and Ash versus Evil Dead. This is when he was in burn notice mode. This is when, you know, he didn't want to deal with that. Like he was putting that behind him. And I think he was in a different place. Now I could see them now doing Ash versus, you know, doing Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, if he was more inclined to pick up the part. Unfortunately, Starz owns, you know, that Ash versus Evil Dead, and they, you know, it's going to die. What we should do, if anything, fans should do, is not petition Netflix, but petition Starz to commission a finale movie just to wrap up the storyline. Because I do feel that if they did more of that, we would see more loyalty in viewing. People are so disillusioned by shows being canceled on a whim without ever being a conclusion that they find themselves actually not really wanting to get involved with a show or give it their all, become fans because they're afraid of that loss, because we've gotten it so many times over the years. And that's why I applaud Netflix with like Sense8 for doing the 2 seasons, canceling the show, but then fan outcry going, okay, we're going to give you a 2-hour finale movie to wrap everything up. And I feel we need to see more of that. Like Timeless on NBC is the same things. Fans saved the show got given another season, there was a cliffhanger ending, and canceled. But instead of, you know, what they should do is just do a 2-hour movie, a TV movie, and wrap it up and go from there. What's going on, MC Yoshi, Josh? What's going on, Anthony? You want Hannibal season 4? Yeah, a lot of people do. Right. And this is a problem with television. This is why more and more people are turning to Netflix and Hulu, where there is that freedom to tell these stories, but the likelihood of there being a proper conclusion. And because people have their subscriptions tied to these shows, that if they threaten to pull their subscriptions, it basically has a lot more power. They yield more power against these companies instead of networks that rely on advertising. So it very much is this thing where streaming sites like Netflix and Hulu, the fans have a better option, a better opportunity in order to crack down on that, to fight back. So 57 years ago, 101 Dalmatians was released. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. My horrible Owen Wilson. Am I going to show my daughter Frozen? Yeah, probably. But if anything, I'm going to show her Goofy Movie more. If she wants a musical to sing along with, I will sing along with every song in a Goofy Movie. You know, cause I'll sit there. I do this to her now. I pick her up and I'm all like, they've been laughing since I can remember, but they're not gonna laugh anymore. No more Maxie the Geek, no more Goof of the Week like before. I can't really sing very well, but I try. But I rock out to that shit, you know. Tevin Campbell doing his 2 tracks, you know, Power Storm. on fucking that movie. That movie's like 20 years old, and I've seen it so many goddamn times. Should cable TV die? Yes. Would I be willing to watch and review Lucha Underground? No. No. How would I feel if Comcast forced me to only use Hulu? I'd be pissed because I watch Netflix way more than I watch Hulu. Way, 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 way more. Dollhouse Season 3, that's a Fox thing. We're never going to get that. You're never going to get it. So, there's definitely that. There's definitely that. Yeah, it is all that shit. Okay. All right, where we are. Okay. Did I see Sargon's new video about progressive Padawan? No, I don't know who that is. Anthony, you like to bring up things that aren't related to the stream topics at hand. You're wearing your Sonic the Hedgehog cap right now. That's good. Let's see. When will cable TV die? I give it 10 years. I give it 10 years. It's not so much cable TV. I think just like network TV is gonna like really go a different direction. How many streaming services should someone have? 3. What's going on, Zach? So I would say 3 would be probably the best one. And that has a lot to do with the fact that, you can pick and choose a 3. But the question is, who are the 3 going to be, right? Are the 3 going to be Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, Disney streaming, Netflix, Hulu, DC Universe, or sorry, not DC streaming, Disney streaming? What about Amazon, Disney streaming, DC Universe? I mean, like, this is the problem. If they're, or what about CBS All Access? Because quite frankly, like, no, people are gonna cancel their subscriptions after Star Trek Discovery, only to come back for Star Trek Discovery. It's gonna end up biting them in the ass in that regard. But like, what are you gonna do in that time period? How are you going to really kind of figure out how to be better? You're stuck with cable till next June. That sucks. Let's see. What do I think about the Book V Wars being made into a Netflix series? I don't know what that is. So currently you have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, HBO. See, I have HBO, but I use my sister's login. And my mom uses my Netflix and my Hulu. See, that's the thing. Is what they're going to do is they're going to treat it. People are going to create family plans like they do for cell phones, for services where you can log into like a couple different outlets can log in, or different computers or devices can log in. People can watch. That's what they're going to do. Netflix is going to be, and they might charge a bit more of a premium for that, but at the same time, people would be more willing to open up to different services if they can give them to their friends and their family. They can share them. That's going to be a big part of it. Netflix and rotate between DC and Disney. Yeah, you got to it depends on how much it costs. Disney is definitely going to end up being something that I feel I keep, simply because of all that. There's going to be a lot more content there, but if they get Fox, then all the Fox content's going to go to Hulu, right? So then that adds in all the Fox content. And that's where we're going to start seeing a lot, them having this like control over 2 networks, essentially. Do I think that Marvel should go on hiatus after Infinity War Part 2 before they hit a burnout? They're not going to hit a burnout. If they have constantly new characters and constantly evolving stories, they're never going to burn out. That's the whole point. That's why they've been able to do 20 films in 10 years, because they have a consistent universe, consistent well enough at least. They have multiple storylines. It was all converging to one point. It was never too hard to follow outside of maybe Age of Ultron and introducing the Infinity Stones in that one. And then it went from there. That's it. I mean, they've done a fair amount. When do I see Disney pulling their content off of Netflix? Right before the other stuff goes live. Like Last Jedi will be off of Netflix probably at the beginning of next year. And so 5G signal travels very short range. They have to put up tons of towers put up. Well, I'm hoping they do, because I get shit service where I live. Rank the DCEU movies. Man of Steel. I would argue Batman v Superman Extended, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Justice League. Yeah, Man of Steel is an epic goddamn movie that is Awesome. I haven't seen King Arthur from last year. I own it. I bought it on Blu-ray during Black Friday sales, but I haven't actually picked it up. I haven't watched it yet. I need to. Yeah. You can find a comic for that Hotel Tower. I forgot to mention the comic about Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. I think it was like a 6-issue series. It was basically based on the screenplay. Again, I need to actually like invest time into like investigating and documenting stuff. The reason why I don't, and this is me being perfectly honest, is the way YouTube operates is like, if I'm not consistently churning out content that people want to watch, then I don't make any money, and I have to make money to live. So either the Patreon's got to go up, or Super Chat's got to happen a lot more, or things like that, in order to really kind of go down that pipeline. And it's unfortunate that it comes to that, because I hate that, to be honest with you. I really don't like the shilling for Patreon and like, you know, all that stuff, because I'm like, I feel like ads are like the best form of transaction that a content creator and their audience can have. So there's that. Assassin's Creed movie was bad. I haven't seen it yet. So AT&T is going to make HBO part of their phone plans, probably. Like when I got Comcast, they had deals with HBO. You know, it's like, oh yeah, for an extra $5 a month, you get local cable and HBO. I did it for a year. We watched HBO like 3 times. Everything else I just watched on Netflix. Now I have more things to watch on HBO, but you know, there's that. Do I see Verizon buying a movie studio? No, I think they're going to stick in the telecom. So MOS is a great film about a sociopath from Krypton adopted by a crappy farmer. Probably. Do I think Anakin should have a better romance instead of Padme? No, I feel like their romance was meant to be a Greek tragedy. That was what it was meant to be. It's meant to be this ill-fated thing that was going to end up reshaping the lives of everyone around them. And it was this epic, terrible thing that should have ultimately never happened, but their love burned hotter and stronger than the fire of 1,000 angry gods. That was the whole point of there being the tragedy. Maybe we should have seen more with that. The passion that they had in episode 2, it was the beginning of something, but we should have had a bit more of that in regards to, like, you know, they should have, you know, maybe not met when they were kids, maybe started Anakin when he was a teenager, not a young boy, right? Where it got a little bit weirder. He's like, "Are you an angel?" You know, and then maybe like had them be in a secret romance in episode 2, and then episode 3 can continue out the way it is. You see, you liked Rose, but Finn should be with Rey. Well, yeah, they're cutting out they're creating love triangles now. If you notice, right, the love triangles in The Last Jedi, it's going to be Rey, Finn, Kylo, right? It's going to be Rey, Kylo, Poe. Okay, it's going to be Finn, Rey, Rose, and Poe, Rey, probably BB-8. And that's going to be like the triangles that are going to happen, multiple triangles that people just don't care about. So Rose should have been the one to fly into the death ray. I think a lot of people agree. So, you know, I think a lot of people agree. Did I ever get around to finishing season 1 of Star Trek Discovery? No. No. Again, it came out right after the kid was born. It made it really difficult to keep up on anything without binge watching it. I just haven't been able to binge watch it. So there's that. Rose should be thrown into a volcano. Rose is like not that bad of a character. She was just so poorly implemented, and the whole thing with, like, you know, it really, if we were to remove Canto Bight and give her something else to do, I think she would have been a much better better received. I think she would have been better received by the audience. But the fact that they didn't do that is really kind of dumb. It's really stupid. Search for pics of Kelly Marie Tran with her hair down. She looks way cuter. Yeah, I've seen some Instagram photos of her. I didn't miss much. I should watch Deep Space Nine instead. See, I never cared for Deep Space Nine. I also never really cared for Bab 5. The space station stuff never really wowed me. Did I watch Nicolas Cage in the film Joe? No, I didn't. I don't even know what that is. It's more like everybody loves Rey. Yeah, no, everyone does love Rey. That might be the whole Mary Sue aspect of it coming back up, but yeah. So does everyone know that The Last Jedi is on Netflix? Yeah, it's on Netflix. I see a lot of people talking about it on Twitter, a lot of Star Wars podcasts that guaranteed own the movie, but they're like, I've already watched it like 4 times on Netflix. And that just goes to show you, hey, what's going on What's going on, Shlomo? How are you, buddy? Um, you know, I have a feeling like it's just that shows you that the digital age is here. People don't want to. People don't want to have discs. They want to have access to the file. They probably want to own them in order to have them as a physical collection, but they watch them digitally. Do I think they're going to kill Lando? I don't think they're going to kill Lando. I don't think they're going to do it. I think he's going to get the Millennium Falcon back in the end, and I think he's going to fly off into the sunset with Chewie. I think that's what's going to happen, and I think that's what should happen. You know, Chewie can't stay with Rey because Rey's gonna, you know, Chewie needs someone like Lando, you know, and so there's that. Does anyone care that The Last Jedi is on Netflix? No, I don't think I know I don't care. My girlfriend, we passed over it a couple times on Netflix, and my girlfriend's hesitated to pop it on, and she just won't do it. She just won't do it. What's going on, Esker? How are you, buddy? No, Kathleen Kennedy's not gone. This is like the 4th time in the stream I've been asked that question. What's my thoughts on the next Cloverfield film? Well, Overlords has been confirmed to not be part of the Cloververse, which is unfortunate, although that could also be a lie. I have a feeling there's going to be a couple Easter eggs that might tie it to it ultimately, but they said it's not in the same thing. And they are, in fact, working on a proper sequel to Cloverfield, according to, I think it was it Matt Reeves or Drew Goddard had made that comment. But apparently they are working on Cloverfield. So will they forget about the Knights of Ren? Eric, actually, a report that I saw said they've cast the Knights of Ren. So if they've cast the Knights of Ren, then no, I don't think. I think because that was a big thing JJ was setting up in episode 7 that wasn't even at once mentioned in episode 8. They're going to make it a big deal in episode 9, especially if Kylo was taking over the First Order and he's sending the Knights out in order to crush the Resistance. Think of them like if it was me, I would treat them like ring wraiths. You know what I mean? And I would since Star Wars is very heavily based off the hero's journey, which is also taking a lot of inspiration from the Lord of the Rings, then you would definitely treat the Knights of Ren like the ring wraiths and have them be a force to be reckoned with, but ultimately still report back to the master, so to speak. What's my favorite comedian? Probably Dave Chappelle. That man is a genius to hell and back, and he's so damn funny. So don't be done with Cloverfield movies. Cloverfield Paradox is actually pretty decent. Actually pretty good. If Lando gets the Falcon back, he can move the nav system to a sexy droid body to make love to. If they did that as a nod to that shit, I would laugh my ass off. Let's see. You're waiting for writers bigger series be made into an HBO. Oh, the game. Wait, hold on. The Joe Ledger series. I don't know what that is. I'm actually going to be reviewing Star Wars books here very soon. So there's that. Let's see. The Resistance was already crushed. There was like 15 people. No, there's way more than that, but that's all, you know, they're guaranteed are going to be able to find more out there. That was the whole point at the end with like that little kid, like the little boy with the thing and the thing, you know, and he had the ring. He's Resistance. Also, hold on here. Can we talk about how like ineffective Rose Tico was as a character in Canto Bight? She cared about the freaking weird creatures and like the slavery aspects of that, but she didn't give a shit about the children that were slaves and being beaten and being forced into being these animals' keepers. She left the kids there, but she freed the animals. What the shit? Right? Like, why not grab the kids, put them on the thing, put them in the ship, take them back with them. You know, then they freed some kids. Probably put them into a worse situation overall. But there's that. Am I a fan of the Conjuring universe? I have actually never seen The Conjuring. I haven't seen any of those. Am I a Mortal Kombat fan? Yes, I am. I do know there's a new Mortal Kombat movie that's being worked on. And I know you keep pushing for Lucha Underground, man. The most incompetent Resistance ever. Yeah, that would make some sense. Rey should have had the slave subplot. I agree, actually. I agree. Given her upbringing on Jakku and everything she dealt with there, that would have been better fitted for her. They were white males. No, there was one. Like, I don't even think they were white males. I think like the kids were all like multicultural, which is fine. So there's that. Like I feel like send the kids to Jedi slave school. Well, it got burned down. You know, you had one arson. You know, one student that was almost killed by an instructor, and he kind of went apeshit on the place. I have not talked about the new Spawn project. I know Todd McFarlane has got Jeremy Renner now signed on Jamie Foxx is on board, and it's going to be a hard R. And they start shooting sometime this year, apparently. So as for Scarlett Johansson as a trans man, I'm not too sure how to feel about that. I feel like she's catching a lot of shit for it because of whatever, but you're never going to get a movie like that made without having someone like Scarlett Johansson. Rose is a pedophile. Oh, shut the fuck up. Oh, shut up. That is terrible. That is terrible. That's just terrible. Just terrible. Oh, Jesus. You guys are fucking killing me here. You're killing me. So what do I think about Mangel's comments about artistic directors? Yeah, no, he's right. He's right. I'm going to cover that too. I was debating on covering some of that shit live and then clipping it out, because apparently I can create highlights here on YouTube. I can create highlights. I don't quite know how. I'd have to, I don't know if I have to go back and find like the highlight live sometime, I guess. I don't know. I can make highlights. So I figured, I could sit there and I could just do this and then just upload the highlights and then add, saves me time in terms of having to like, export, upload, and everything else. I might figure it out. I don't know. You're still literally shaking over Captain Marvel. Coin flip. This is going to start the MCU sucking. Maybe. I don't know. We've had problems before. Look, here's the thing. I thought this was a not that good of a movie the first time I saw it. Okay. I got to go in a minute because I might hear my daughter waking up. But this was actually really solid. So who knows, man? Do I think Kingsman 3 will happen? Yes, I do. I do. Very much. Kingsman, the Golden Circle actually made more money worldwide than Kingsman 1. Not by much, mind you, but it definitely made more money. And so Matthew Vaughn is really good at shooting on a budget, and he's also really good at self-financing. So I guarantee you Kingsman 3 is going to happen. And they've already talked about it. They talked about Kingsman 3, a Kingsman prequel, which takes place in the 1920s, and also the potential of a Kingsman TV series dealing with the Statesman, which is the American counterpart, which I did cover that a few weeks ago. You should just look back to the library and you can find it. I haven't finished Rebels yet, 100 T-Pulse, so I have no idea what's going to happen with that. What the Sith is this? You glad Jeremy and I were together? Yeah, I had a lot of fun talking with Jeremy last night. He's a good guy. He's getting a lot of shit online from people that are being real fucking, what's the word here? Douchey for no other reason than just to be douchey. So, the only thing you didn't like about Ragnarok was Tessa Thompson. She grew on me by the end. I'd love to see Man of Steel 2. I don't think he's going to do it though. I haven't seen Infinity Wars, how this should have ended. I shouldn't. What do I think about the last Hellraiser movie? I haven't seen a Hellraiser movie in years. So they're all like, they're just where they are now is I haven't watched it. I haven't seen The Conjuring. I don't like those kind of movies, but I heard this is pretty good. I like James Wan, so I should definitely give it a watch. Ant-Man and Hawkeye team up movie. Yeah, I'd see that. I'd definitely see that. Yeah. Let's see. Tessa Thompson greater than Natalie Portman, even though the shit she got was unnecessary. I agree. Tammy, you liked me and Jeremy talking last night? Yeah, that was definitely a random thing. That was pretty cool. And the responses to it were pretty good. Yeah, I need to check out how it should have ended on that one. Why do people keep pushing the Rey and Kylo Ren romance? Because it's good versus evil, and also a love that is blocked by good versus evil. A love that is a tragedy. It's never going to happen. It's again, everything in Star Wars is cyclical, right? The events are cyclical. Themes are cyclical. Time is cyclical, because history is cyclical, right? That's how human nature is cyclical. That's what it's meant to espouse. So the Reylo thing is it makes sense because of, Anakin and Padme. Good versus evil, but finding each other in the center, that balance, so to speak, that balance that could have been maintained if Padme would have been next to him. When they were separated is when Anakin became full of jealousy and rage and anger and hatred. Had they been together, had they actually been able to work it out, she would have been that balance. She would have been his anchor in the storm of his emotions, and that would have definitely prevented what happened. But the Emperor knew that. Right, Palpatine knew that, and he was able to manipulate Anakin in order to push him down that pathway. The same thing goes with a little bit opposite or a little bit different with Kylo and Rey, where there's clearly an attraction there. They clearly have feelings for one another, but Rey or Kylo is so bound by his rage that he's having trouble letting that go. And Rey still thinks, I think at this point even, that Kylo is redeemable. And I think we are going to get a redeemable Kylo by the end. Yeah, I don't get Ben Swolo. That Ben Swolo stuff was just kind of like whatever. Namor for Phase 4. I don't think so. I don't think so. Do I think Tony and Cap will be killed by Thanos in Avengers 4? I do actually, yeah. I do. I really do. Let's see. Namor, is Namor owned by Universal? Let's take a look here. I don't know. If Namor is owned by Universal, let's see. All right. So according to comicsalliance.com, all right. Oh no, Joe Quesada asserted that Namor is back home at Marvel Studios. He went from and this is from 2 years ago. So yeah, they're kind of like sitting. They're kind of sitting on this stuff, right? Keanu, wait, hold on. Oh, okay. Hollywood is already doing the Trapped Thai Cave Boys into a movie, by the way. That's happening, as I figured it was going to. Namor's a great character. You don't think he can carry his own movie? Exactly. Some of these characters can't carry their own film. However, Ant-Man did. Right? Ant-Man did. You didn't think Ant-Man could carry his own movie, and he did. And he's got a sequel, but that one relied also on the Wasp because they didn't really have a central villain. Howard the Duck for Phase 4. Look, I support that. I wholeheartedly support that. I wholeheartedly support Howard the Duck being a large part of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, therefore using that as a springboard into his own movie, and then getting a Howard the Duck trilogy of films with Leia Thompson back. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Look, here's the thing. Leia Thompson, 1980s, hot. Leia Thompson now, still hot. I stand by that. I don't even care. I don't even care. Unfriended 2. I haven't seen Unfriended 1. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Episode 3 was the only Star Wars movie you ever saw full from start to finish. Really? Revenge of the Sith was the only one you saw full from start to finish? Wow. Will Brooklyn Nine-Nine come back? Yeah, it comes back next spring for a shortened season. Season 6 will be, I think, 13 episodes on NBC. The reason for that is because NBC couldn't fit it into its fall lineup. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna shoot a lot of episodes. They're probably gonna shoot a whole bunch of episodes, or probably a whole other season. While they are on the hiatus and stuff. Lee Thompson was the only reason you watched Caroline in the City. Yep. Yeah, and 7. Yeah, Jeremy's a good guy. Do I think a Hulk movie could do well today? No, Hulk again is one that I feel operates. Okay, you do the original to kind of like set him up. It's kind of like what they're doing with Deadpool. They did Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 introduced X-Force and made it more of an ensemble film. X-Force is then going to be technically Deadpool 3 because even Ryan Reynolds has said that Wade Wilson does better as an ensemble movie versus his own film. Which I think that makes sense. People like Deadpool, but they want to see Deadpool interact with other characters. So having him be part of an ensemble does make sense. So Michael's not old in the new Halloween movie. Why is Michael not old? I don't know. I don't know. But that trailer looks fucking dope, though. I'll tell you that one. So do I think the Gambit movie will happen? Oh man, it's been years. I have no idea. They keep talking about it. Do I think the deaths in Infinity War should last forever? It'd be good if they did, but we already know that they're not going to. Do I think a She-Hulk Netflix series would do well? Well, at this point, it'd be a She-Hulk Disney series, and probably. Do I think they're going to be using X-Force to bring Deadpool into the MCU since Drew Goddard is involved? Maybe. Again, having that tie in would be fine. Should X-23 get her own movie? I mean, like, I thought Daphne Keane did a really good job in Logan, like a really good job. I'd say wait a couple years and then give it a go. I mean, wait till she's older. The thought of, we've James Mangold did a great job with making her a murderous psychopath in that movie. So best female lead, I agree. Gambit is your favorite and doesn't need a movie. That's kind of odd, isn't it? If he's your favorite, wouldn't you want a movie? But you want a good movie. So let's see. Do I think a lot of people get overly nuts asking for side characters to have their own movies, like Shuri or Black Widow? Black Widow can probably pull off a movie, but not Shuri though. Yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of like it's kind of like on Netflix where like they brought in like, you know, they had an episode on Luke Cage where Iron Fist shows up, and it's like, you know, the Heroes for Hire have a little side adventure, which was good. It was a good episode. Sometimes you need to have team ups, and certain people. I don't think Shuri deserves her own movie. Would Q from Bond deserve his own film? No. Shuri is. I like Shuri as a character, and she will eventually become bad, is from what I read. But she still doesn't deserve her own movie. So let's see. Snap deaths will reverse, but pre-snap deaths will not. Yeah. Jeremy is Geeks and Gamers. Rio Crimson Danger. Yeah. I had about a 2-hour conversation with him last night. Deathstroke movie 10 out of 10. Yep, they made it. Okay, you're a Star Trek person over Star Wars. I get that, man. I get that. Do I? What the hell is that? I keep forgetting that stupid ass OBS keeps. I keep turning off everything, and it keeps coming back up. Drives me at the damn wall. All right, where are we at there? So I got about 5 more minutes. I'm gonna wrap this thing up just because I want to go. I've heard my daughter kind of making some noise. I want to go check on her. A Gamma Heroes movie, not just Hulkbusters. Killer Carl Krupp. Thank you very much for the $5. I don't know anything about the Gamma Heroes. My knowledge of Marvel is very what's in the popular lexicon, right? Like going back into further details, I have to go read up on it. So, Gamma Heroes movie, I don't know what that is. I'd have to go look. Better romance in DC Comics, Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. Yeah, I'd argue that. That was me going to, that sound was a notification from Streamlabs, on here. I don't know if that was a donation or if that was, I don't know if that was a donation or if that was a thing. Let me see here. Dashboard. No, I think it was a new subscriber. Yeah, it was a new subscriber on my main channel. So it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Let's see here. So, do I watch Westworld? I've seen the first season. I really liked it. I want to marathon the second season. But then again, first season of Westworld, everyone talked about it. Second season of Westworld, like no one was talking about it, which is never a good sign. People were talking about it a little bit, but it wasn't carrying on throughout the course of the week. And it wasn't like a lot of water cooler moments. So I don't know what the ratings were, but ultimately a lot of people really weren't in on it. Trekkies needs a reboot. I agree. You wonder if X-Men will ruin the MCU continuity since X-Men continuity doesn't make sense in either comics or films. They'll find a way to make it work. I have faith they'll find a way to make it work. Green Arrow and Black Canary is also contender for best romance. Yeah. Are we talking like comics or are we talking the Arrow TV series? What's my ranking on the Netflix Marvel series? Daredevil season 2, Daredevil season 1, Jessica Jones season 2, Iron Fist season 1, Luke Cage season 2, Iron Fist season 1, Jessica Jones season 1, Luke Cage season 1. And then, the Defenders is like right there underneath Daredevil season 1. I forgot about the Defenders. I really liked the Iron Fist season 1. The episode with Danny Rand in season 2 of Luke Cage was my favorite of the season. Right, Punisher. Fuck, dude, Punisher's up there too. Punisher's good, but like the Punisher in Daredevil season 2 was not the same Punisher that was in the Punisher TV series, and I liked that Frank Castle. I felt like the Punisher season 1 was a little bit too long. I think it needed to be like 10 episodes, 8 to 10 episodes, condense it down, tell that story more concisely. I feel the story in season 1 of Punisher dragged on a little bit too long, and they didn't bring out anyone else in outside of Karen Page. So I was kind of like, it could be a little bit better. It wasn't my favorite thing on the planet, but it wasn't the worst thing ever. It was still really solid, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. But you know what it is? I might go back and rewatch it. So there's that. So yeah, there's definitely a lot going on with that stuff. All right, yeah, we're coming in on the final 30 seconds. So anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you very much for hanging out with me. I do want to do these more often. This is more of an impromptu thing. Clearly didn't even do what I had intended to do, which was to cover some of the news and whatever. But RoboCop being remade by Neil Blomkamp, that's going to be a thing. So I will do a video about that. I will do a couple other videos. But do look for more of these live streams, because we can just hang out and talk and bullshit. And if you have any questions, you can always hit me up, Mundane Matt, on Twitter. Or, you can hit me up on the Discord, which I do believe is also linked below. I'm in the Discord pretty much all the time. And I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.